Okay, I think this is live. This is a test. Hopefully this sounds good. Anybody that happens to catch this, it's an impromptu. I'm just testing the capability of live streaming to both YouTube and Instagram. I did try to set up for Facebook, but I don't meet their qualifications, so whatever. We'll go with it. So just having some fun. I figured while I'm in here, anybody wants to hop on, you're welcome. I'm just gonna go ahead and make a art journal page to fill in the time while I test this all out. So anybody that jumps in, welcome aboard, have some fun. Again, this is just a last minute test run to go live with the dual stream and we'll see what happens. All right. And I'm just going to kind of use the stuff that is on my desk at the moment. So yeah. So hope everybody is doing all right. Assuming there'll be a replay, so I'll just kind of chat like normal. If I'm doing a live stream, then I try to keep in mind that people may see this after. So that is what I'm gonna do for today, and trying to keep an eye on the chat as best I can. Again, this is kind of new. I've never done two dual platforms before. So hopefully everything sounds good, looks good. Um, and as always, anything we can do crafty is always fun. So I probably won't chat as much as I normally do because, like I said, this is a last minute, and I don't know how many people will even notice that I'm live. But anywho, all right, I'm just gonna get repetitive. Probably should have made another cup of coffee while I was at it, but oh well. Trying to use up this thing of gesso before I get any more or make any more, I should say. I've been putting together a list of DIY videos I want to put together showing how to make stuff like gesso and stencil butters and stuff like that that I've been learning as we go along. So hopefully I'll get to that soon just to keep a live stream like class kind of a vibe going. Okay, all right. And I am glad I remembered to keep my little dryer thing plugged in. And I've got these new headphones. They're noise canceling. My friend Robin recommended them. And let me know how they sound. Make sure I've still got them set up correctly. So I don't want too much of the sound of the dryer coming through. It's a quieter one, but the less extra noise we can pack in, the better. Or keep from adding in, I should say. So I'm going to keep this kind of quick because again, just an impromptu. Let's see how quickly I can put a art journal page together. That'll be a good, fun little test. All right. So much fun. If I'm going to be doing something these days, I try to make it as productive as possible. I think I like this. I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing. They had some chalk paint in clearance at Michael's. I tried to zip through. They didn't have much for me this trip, but I did check out their clearance and got some paints and mediums and stuff. So this is a really pretty pale pink. I thought it would be fun to try play around with. All right. So, anywho, just having fun, trying to up my technology skills or tech skills, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, why don't we just use that? Do some dry brushing. Ooh, that is really pretty. I really like that. I'm not sure exactly how the color comes through in the video, but it's a really pretty pale pink. It's a chalk paint. So I may have to, if I want to do any color blending on top of it, because it's a chalk paint, I'll probably have to put a coat of clear gesso on. But, ooh, I really like that. That is super duper pretty. It is. And again, if you're happen to jump in while I'm live, welcome. I will try to remember to stay connected. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's okay. It's probably just going to go back as a replay video. No big. Okay. All right. So let me get this cleaned up. My silicone mat here was getting pretty cruddy. I had to give it a good scrub before I came on to run the test stream. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Yeah, let me give that a little dry. Yeah, I really like that. That's a really pretty color. You know, before I put my arm in that, I'm going to throw that out. Because if there's a chance to wear one of the mediums, I will. I will find a way. Get that. Okay. All right. Yeah, not too much chatty. Well, somebody's popped in. Hey there. How are you? Figured while I'm doing the live stream, I'll just do a art journal page while I've been on this kick of art therapy. So welcome, welcome. Again, just trying to keep it a quick and easy little project for today while I test it out. Figure anything that can be done with some fun while we're at it, why not? Let's do it. Let's see, what else do I need? What image do I want to work with? I guess I should pick a focal point. Let's see what we got here on the desk. Do I want to use one of the, ooh, that looks really good. Okay, maybe. No set plan today, just having some fun. Um, it's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to test out new techniques and stuff like that any chance I get. Because I figured if you learn it in one kind of a art medium, you can apply it to others while you're at it. So like what I learned in mixed media, I will turn around and do in my card making and vice versa, or watercolor to mixed media, blah, blah, blah. Because, yeah, I don't think we can have too big of a skill set these days. All right, so do I want that one or do I want, ooh, that, I like that a lot. Okay, we might have to do that. Um, yeah. All right, so we're gonna, I think I need to build up that background just a little bit more. But what way do I want to do that? All right, well, let me trim this down since I decided to go in a slightly different direction. So hopefully you're having a good day. It's finally feels like fall here in southeast Michigan. It's been 80-degree Fahrenheit or upper 20s to low 30s if you're in the Celsius temperature gauge. And now it feels like it's actually fall. So it's kind of funny to go from 80 and hot to normal cool weather, so now it's like you're doubly freezing because your body does not know what to do uh, with the flip-flop and the temperatures. So hopefully we stay in the cool range because this flip-flopping is no fun. Probably part of what led to me picking up the cootie bug this year so far. Um, I'm just happy to be getting on the other side of that one. Hmm. You know, let's try this out. Let's see what happens with the spray. I am still on a mission to stash bust because I don't think we can ever stash bust our craft rooms enough. So there will be more projects coming up um, for the stash busting circuit that I like to do. I'm a little bit behind in that. So stay tuned. Let's see. How does that look? I think I like it. And okay, all right. So, anywho, all right, let's see where we're at. Nope, viewers dipped out. That's okay. Like I said, it's a completely informal thing today. So, anybody stops by, welcome. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. If you have dipped back out, so I know usually on Saturdays a lot of people have stuff going on, so that's the nice thing about the recording where you get the replay later. You can always come back and watch at another time, so that's always fun. Or if you want to be able, like if you're learning, somebody's showing a really good new technique, the replay is really good for going back in for parts that you want to see again, or if you forgot what they said. So it's nice you don't have to tell YouTube to save it, they automatically do it, so that's nice. Okay, so let me, just in case. Yeah, I kind of really like that effect. Let me zoom in a little bit. I still have trouble remembering I actually have a zoom in feature on this. God knows why, but perhaps someday I will get there. Uh, yeah, so anywho. Alrighty, I think we're good here. Again, I'm just trying to keep this moving because even though it's an impromptu kind of a thing, I don't want to keep people, anybody that's tuning in here more than they have to. Okay, let's see. Do I want that? Nope, I think I like the script. I'm gonna go back to that. Where's my ginormous? Oh, here it is. Okay. I do mutter and chat to myself while I craft, so you'll hear me do that probably quite a bit. I think I like the text. Okay. I still can't believe how juicy this ink pad is. I picked this up on clearance. I think I said it in the full version of that last Halloween themed page that I did, but I still am amazed because I have no idea how old this ink pad was. Oh, when I picked it up at the clearance section, it was either Michael's or Joann's, and I cannot remember which, but I've had it for about, I don't know, I've had this for about 5 or 6 years now, and it very, very juicy, so it's almost like a double bonus. Not only did you get it at a good price when you find it in the clearance, but it also has really good longevity. Because sometimes you can get a used ink pad, but then when you get it home, it's nearly dry. So sort of takes away from getting it at the discount, I guess. So, um, yeah. Yeah, I really could have made that extra cup of coffee, but that's all right. Maybe when I'm done. So just trying to really, really stay focused, which is probably where you will hear me mutter a lot when I try to stay on track with what I'm doing. Because, man, can my brain go sideways in about 30 seconds? It's hilarious how quickly I can get off on a tangent. You know, I think let's have some fun. Let's do some blending. Let's add some other colors in. Where's that other? Oh, no. Okay. Hopefully the sound stays good. One of the good reasons that I wanted to test out these headphones was being able to keep the sound consistent. And then that nice microphone I got for Christmas a while back, I can do that for like voiceovers when I'm sitting down and doing intros or outros right before and after I'm doing my project. So that way the sound, can stay the sound stays consistent is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, that might be too pale. Yeah, that's not a strong color. Let's see what else we got. No, no, I don't think I want red. I don't want purple. Let me see if I can dig out another shade of blue. I think I finally got a good combination in here for keeping stuff that I use more frequently near my desk. One, it makes it a lot easier for putting it away, and two, for finding stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's the right shade. Finding stuff I need that I didn't think of before I get started, and then that way I'm not having to do the hunt and peck while you guys are watching the live stream. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, let's see how this does. And I am coming in with some distress oxides here. Um, Ooh, that's nice. Adds in an extra color. So I'm trying to follow the colors in the little strip, the color strip here, or the strip of the focal point, just so it's not too different, if that makes sense. Contrasting colors is useful, but you do have to be careful because things can go south in a hurry. And I'm still kind of learning about how to do the color coordinating or the color theory or, whatever you want to call it. So I still try to take it easy since I'm still learning. Okay, so you can still get that pink in there. Let me see how it looks through the viewfinder. That's not too bad. Yeah, okay. I think we're good there. And the nice thing, I like using the oxide inks. I know they can be water reactive, but the blending you get is so nice with the oxide inks. Where's the cap? Did I have the cap? I don't even know. Okay, yeah, sorry, more muttering. That will happen quite a lot. Like I said, especially, if I'm still coming off of having that cootie bug, my brain is still really laggy, so I do apologize. Thankfully, that last live stream was before I got sick, so I was able to keep on a pretty even keel when I was doing the demonstration, and that was, I believe the last one I did was making the busted canvas. I believe was the last one I put up there. And let's see, what else do we need? Okay. Let me see what else we got. See, yeah, okay. So you get the little bit of the blue echoing in there. I know we need something else. What else do we need in here? Hmm. Let me see again. What do I have? Wondering if we need some white, like actual white. I had a happy accident in that last making the art journal page I put up yesterday or today. I can't remember which, where in a pinch I rolled out with my little brayer a thin layer of the white chalk paint to use for the stamping, and that actually worked out really nice. It's such a, having it be the chalk paint, you have a lot less bleed through than you could get with like using a regular acrylic paint. So that was kind of fun. Well, I think I want to do that again, but you do have to wipe it off like right away because I have accidentally killed a stamp, one of my favorites, because I forgot to clean off the acrylic paint. So I can't imagine the chalk paint would be any better for not damaging your stamp. So I need to be sure to clean it off right away. I cannot afford to lose any more stamps because I was silly and didn't do what I was supposed to. So let's see, I need a better something. No, let me just use a big brush. Sorry, I know I am still kind of blah with the mental. So thank you for your patience if you are happening to tune in. I'm just trying to get some paint out. And okay, that should be good. Where's that brayer? Got to move a little fast, of course, so the paint don't start drying before I can use it. So let's get that back. Let me roll it off. It may not be good to have dried chalk paint on your brayer, but it's got to be better than killing the stamp. At least you can still use the brayer for the most part. Okay, it's picking up a little bit of bleed, but not too bad. I don't, oh, that's where it's coming from. Okay. So I'm not getting that nice bright white that I was looking for, but that's okay. Yeah, learn to go with it. So what I can do is wipe this up and start over when I'm done. Okay, I think that looks good. That'll do. All right, I still want something white though, so let me get this cleaned up before I do anything else really quick. And then I can be sure when I come in with the white, it actually is white. And this is where, if you haven't heard the tip already, get baby wipes. It's really handy to have if you need to do quick wipe ups and stuff like that. Uh, Saves time from having to deal with like a rag and a bucket or little pan of water, going to the sink or any of that. Just you can kind of keep going with your project if you have a good uh, little baggie of baby wipes. Okay, brain blipped out on that one. Okay, so I still want white. What can I do? Let me dry this, make sure it's dried before I do anything else. Because it's to the point I can feel it's trying to go sideways on me. And I need it to not do that. So let's, okay, yeah, I want white. I definitely want white. So let's see, what is the best way? What have I got for white? You know, let's, I'm gonna do this guy. Let me see how that goes. All right, we're gonna try the brayer thing again. See if I can get a better straight up white impression now that I cleaned the mat off. Yeah, I was not even paying attention to the fact that that blue oxide ink was there. Oh, those details. No fun. Okay, all right. And all right, let's see what we can do here. Eh, better. It's actually quite fun. You can see the image in the paint. I think I like that. That's pretty cool, but it's not giving me as much white as I still want, but it's adding an interesting detail to the background, so I'm all right with that. I think I might have to do like some stenciling or something because it's just, I am not sure. Yeah, just not enough of the white that I want. All right, so this is going to be dried before I can figure it out, so let me just clean it up really quick because again, this is where the baby wipes are your biggest friend during crafting. Okay, I almost got that done. Okay, so hopefully the streams are doing good, no lag, sound is good, video quality is good. I'll have to go back and watch the replay just to kind of look it all over, see how it all went. Because again, I've never done a dual stream before, so just having some fun while I figure it all out. Ooh, sorry about that. I just hit the microphone. What do I need? Yeah, I still want white. I want lots of white. All right, let me do this. I think I am going to have to come in and do a layer of the gesso because it is too reactive. I can't keep that white clean the way that I'm looking to, so, and then I'll kind of dig through my stencils and see what I got to bring in some more images to build up that background. Okay, so where did I, oh here, okay. All right. It's probably gonna blend out some of the blue. I'm gonna have to try to be careful doing the coating with the gesso, but I just really need to set that. So I can't quite go to the next thing that I want to try until I do. So let's see what we got. Okay, hopefully it doesn't blend out too bad. me hit those first. Don't mind the blending effect it gives. I do lose some of that grid pattern from the stencil that I used. I think it's actually something you use for needlepoint or cross stitch or something like that, but I cut it down into that little square and it makes a really fun little stencil for your project. Yeah, okay. Trying to get these sections sealed up first before I try anything else, because once the clear gesso dries, then the blue areas should stop being reactive. I just have to get them there, if that makes sense. The acrylic ink that I used in the stamping should not bleed. That should be okay. So I'll do these, dry it, and I might just give it another extra little coat of the clear gesso, and then figure out what I'm going to do next. So, because again, I mean, the mixed media is still something I'm learning. And there's different mediums out there that I've never used yet, so, or I've only just started using. All right, let me get that in there. Doing pretty good, staying on time and staying on track, so that's always helpful. Okay. All right, let me give that a dry, and then I'll add that second complete coat of the gesso. Yeah, okay. This is a really nice little dryer. I'm finally able to get one. They had it, I can't remember if it had a coupon or if it was at a temporary discounted price off of Amazon, but love it. It has really been a massive help when I'm doing projects and stuff like that, especially live streams like this. It's quiet or quieter. Because before this, I was using basically it was a 2-speed hair dryer, which got the job done, but it was much, much louder. So um, this makes it a lot easier to do what I'm doing in the project while I'm doing the live stream, but not blow your ears out. Because I know sometimes stuff can come through really, really loud. So I try to be careful with how much noise I'm putting out. Um, and if I'm filming a video, it's not quite as big of a deal because you can control the sound, of course, how much is coming through or whatever. But live streams, obviously, you really can't do that. So as far as I can tell, these noise canceling headphones block out a lot. So that's also useful. Plus being hands-free, if I need to poke around in here and get more supplies, like I said a little bit ago, then having this be cordless makes it a lot easier. So, but you always have to do your craft room and set it up in a way that works best for you. What works for me may not be good for you. That's something I always like to say if I go through and I do updates on the craft room, on the layout, on organizing and stuff like that. Your craft room is your personal space, and the craft room has to work how you need it to work. And, you know, if any of the tips I put out help you to kind of help set it up and to structure it, then that is fantastic. but there's no one end all be all in terms of organizing and storage and layout and all of that. It's completely personal, I think. So, all right, let me just dry this and then definitely need that white, but have to dig out a stencil here when this is done. Oh, I think I know which one I can use. I'm gonna have to go digging a little bit, um, but I just remembered one I have. It's pretty big, and I think that would be perfect for giving me the white that I'm looking for. Because I like the blend of the color. It's fun, it's interesting, but to help offset, so, this is kind of busy and this is busy, so if I come in with the white stenciling, it should work the way hopefully I'm thinking, where the white will balance it all out. It'll break up the background here and then help showcase the focal point, which is the Christmas tree. So let me just dry this out a little bit more. Let me white that up actually. Um, Sorry, I just got to get another little wipey out. Oh, I guess I should keep it on there. Okay. All right, so that should be good. All right, so let me dig through. I have to dig into one of my drawers. The stencil is actually from a Christmas kit from my friend Dawn at Shiny Silver Treasures. Put it out, I want to say it was last year or the year before. It must have been the year before. And it's like a big present stencil. It's really cute. And I think that would be perfect. Um, between being, oh, the Christmas tree would be good. No, that would, well, let me take it out and see what have we got. No, perfect. Nope, I'm gonna go with that. Um, between what I've bought myself and what I've gotten from the designer team projects, I know she's on a break at the moment from, doing her normal thing and coming out with stuff. Um, Definitely a much deserved break. But I have so much of her stuff. It is so awesome. I had to dedicate an entire drawer in my filing cabinet to be able to hold all of her stuff. And there's a little bit more that came in that won't fit. And I'm really, really excited. I won't be working on it right now. I'm going to try to coordinate it to where I'm doing each of the days of her mixed media advent calendar, like for that day. So once I get past craft show season, then I can start putting out those projects and stuff on the channel as I make them. But yeah, literally, I she has like a whole drawer. Oh my God, it is so fun. So I want white. I want white. And this should be sealed enough. I don't think I should get any more bleed through. Um, we're just gonna go for it. If it works out, great. If not, you know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Because I think I've already been up here. I'm not even sure how long it's been, like what, 40 minutes? Man, does it go quick. Um, I'm just gonna go back to using this. But I think, no, let me get a fresh one. Somebody had a good tip. I can't remember who it was. Could have been a couple people where you can use cosmetic sponges, make a really good blending tool. So I finally picked some up to give it a try. They kind of work like those foam blending, the finger daubers with the foam. Um, but you get a lot more in the pack, and it's good for quick in and out crafting, kind of like what I'm doing today. And you can always trim off the part that got used. So I'm just going to go right in and I'm not trying to be completely professional here. because this is just completely for fun. But this might be it by having that clear coat of gesso on the top. Looks like it's keeping it from bleeding through. So I can keep that nice bright white that I'm looking for, or white-ish that I'm looking for. Now I just gotta keep it in place would be good. So we don't get double image if I can help it. Might get a little, no, can't say for sure, but I will try to be somewhat careful here in my daubing. Oh yeah, these work really good. Really nice. Okay. Plus they're small enough. I'm starting to get used to the blending brushes, but you can't use those for everything. And this is where things like this can come in handy. You know, the little mini daubers that are really good for edging. These sponges for like stenciling. Because I think if I use like a stencil brush, I tend to jab probably too hard, and I've not been able to stop myself from doing that. So because this is like the foam, I can get that daubing effect in there, but I'm less likely, I can't push any bristles under the openings in the stencil is what it looks like was happening because I don't know, I guess I'm just brutal in my crafting and I just attack it. So interesting things happen underneath the stencil if I try to use like a stencil brush. So this is a really, really good alternative if you're a brute like me. All right, so let me do that. And that is exactly what I was going for. Perfection. Okay. I mean, not that my project is perfect, but I mean that it worked, what I was trying to do. You know, if what I'm learning shows in any given project, that is what I am happy. If people can see what I'm learning, that is what makes me most happy is if it's noticed. Because to me, that's the most important thing is the learning. Oh yeah, I love it. This is gonna be fun. And again, cleaning off the stencil because once this chalk paint were to dry, I don't know that I would get it off. So I do want to use this stencil again without it being totally corrupted. Let's dip a little bit in the water here, make it a little more juicy. I have a sneaking suspicion I didn't close this package all the way, and they're a little bit drier than what they normally would be, so I guess I should shut that up while I'm thinking about it. Okay. That's just an accident waiting to happen. It was hilarious. One time I went to go move an open bottle of glue. I was trying to refill a smaller bottle, like move it from one to the other. And oh my God, I think you can kind of guess what happened. And it just like was all on the desk. It got down on the carpet. And thankfully, I had a spray bottle with enough water in it that in a pinch, if you ever have this happen, I soaked the crap out of the glue in the carpet, to scrub the water in there to keep it from drying out to where it would be all stiff. And I'm not even sure. I think I used almost a whole freaking bottle, spray bottle of the water. And that did it though, thank God, because then I got a dirty, or not a dirty, a old towel. And once I had saturated the carpet, then I came in with the towel, stepped on it to kind of push it down to soak up some of the water, and then left it there overnight, and that helped. Um, there was no clumpy, sticky, rough patch where the glue would have stuck to the carpet fibers. So thankfully I was able to save it. I know my carpet in here gets some damage, but that was going to be a little bit too much damage, I think, that I could get away with, especially right where my foot is going to be. That would have been pretty hard to stand on, or if I stepped on it, that would probably hurt quite a bit. Once that glue dries, it can be pretty stiff. So, ooh, crap. All right, I'm going too hard. Way too hard on that one. I'm going to damage those little stars in there. Okay, well, I think we're good for now. I will give it a good soak in some hot soapy water a little later, but I think I got most of it off. Because again, I don't want to get too distracted. So, because we are almost done here. That is perfect what I wanted in terms of the color scheme. Because we got the little bit of the dark, we got blues, there's that little hint of pink under there just for fun. And then I like that white kind of tones down the background. And now it really sets off the focal point. I still think I like it that way. Maybe a little bit more in here. Let me look through the, yeah, I really like that. That is fun. But before I do anything else, let me ink the edges. Because I think the one thing that I've really started liking in doing the art journaling is inking up the edges in like a dark brown or the black. Because to me, and I don't know if it's the same for your eyes, when you get that dark frame, it kind of brings your vision to the middle of the project so you can come in and then you are drawn to the focal point or whatever. So that's where I like that dark framing on the edges of the project. Just one, it adds dimension and depth without adding physical stuff, if that makes sense. So, oh, dang it, I just hit the, sorry if that was loud. Should have put my hair up, but too late now. So you've probably seen me do that a lot because I'll do it in card making, I do it in the art journaling, I do it in the canvas panels, the busted canvas, or whatever I happen to be working on. I just really like the way that looks a lot. So again, a lot of what we learn in the crafting can carry over to so many different types of crafts and projects and stuff like that. So even though my first love for in the crafting world is card making, it's not the only thing, and what I've learned for that doesn't have to just be for card making, if that makes sense. So let me just get some more. Yeah, and you'll find if you're new to the crafting that what you're drawn to as you go along, as you pick up new stuff, you kind of roll from one type of style into another one, and you know, it's like it's just constantly evolving as you learn new stuff, which is probably part of why it's addicting because there's so many things to learn. Like you can never learn enough, in my opinion. Oh my God, you can't have too much color available, and yeah, you just cannot learn too much in this. And that's what makes it fun sharing, because, what I've learned, maybe some of you haven't learned yet, and vice versa. So that's what, in my opinion, of course, I'm biased in the crafting community, because we rule. That's what I really, really like, is that massive community. Because it doesn't matter what level you are at in crafting, beginner, middle, mid-road, experienced, whatever, there's always, always something new to learn. And then being able to share what you learn is so much fun. Because again, the craft community is not about me, it's about we, in my opinion. All right. I think I want to darken that up a little bit more. But see how that just that nice framing, it just really pops and brings your eye right into where the focal point is going to be. And I really like that. And for me, also, I have found rather than trying to do the art journaling in the actual book, and don't ask me why, every time, generally, I guess I shouldn't say every time, but most of the time, when I try to work directly in a book, except for maybe that small one that I have, I, for the life of me, have a hell of a time either stopping when I should or knowing how to break that page. I just, but if I take the pages out, if I separate it and take the pages out, that is so much easier for my brain to handle. So that's why you'll see I'm art journaling, but I have to take the pages out because all that white space, I think it just like trips my brain. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what to do. And then once I get started, then I makes it easier to fall into the trap of not knowing when to stop. Yeah, I've had a few horror shows with, I mean, not that it's actually really bad, but it is important to learn when to stop. You know, just learning to trust my eyeballs, as I say. Okay, I think I want foam tape for that. And there might be a few little things. I might see if I can find some flowers to add to that, some small ones, but I think we're pretty much almost done. So not bad timing for doing the test run on the live stream and doing a project at the same time. Um, this is a really thin foam tape where you can add like just a little bit of dimension but not go crazy with it. It's the Big Mama roll. I want to say I got it from scrapbook.com or Simon Says Stamp, one of the two. Can't remember which one, but with the amount of foam tape I go through, it was a good investment. So, because I think I got this one sometime early to mid last year, and this is still what I have left, and I use it a lot. So it's just kind of an idea. If you're looking for something to keep on hand, this could be a good option for you. And I think they might have it in black too, but I'm not for sure. Because it's been a minute, like I said, since I ordered it, so I couldn't say for sure if they offer it in black or if it's just the white option. So either or works for me. So I just grabbed the first one I came across in their online store and got it. Um, Sorry, let me just get this done. And again, we are nearly done. Okay, so let's just kind of line it up. I like having that little bit of white on the other side. That's fun. All right, so we got our focal point is there. Let me wipe this up because if you get little crumbs in like the blending tools, like the foam blending tools, it is amazing how much ink those little suckers hold. And they will smear. I've had a few projects, like cards I was making for somebody, uh, get smudges at the last minute because of those little flecks of foam. So I try to be careful with those anytime I'm using something foam, because I can't imagine the little cosmetic blending tools, you know, little cosmetic squares would end up being any different if you use them a lot, where they would get the little flecks. So just try to keep them cleaned up so I don't damage something. Because if there's a way to damage it, I will figure it out. Let's see, where do I want to go? I'm trying to see what do I have close by for flowers. Maybe this. Uh, okay. Oop. Okay. I'm just realizing I forgot to move this all back. I did not put that bin back where I needed it to be. So let's see, what have we got? I don't want to do too much, just a little something. I don't know what I have here. Could I use those? No, because that's too bulky. Nope, too much. Let's go here. Do I have anything in here? Let's see. Maybe. Take a second and see what I got. Some have sparkles, some don't. Just a little something to add in. Because why not? So if I scooch those up. Okay. Let's see. Let me zoom in here a little bit. See what I got. Yeah, I'll go for it. Why not? All right, let's do it. Let me get my glue. Just a little something something to add to it, but it won't be too fat. Because at the end, usually, if I fill up a book, then I'll put it together when I've used up all the pages. So this is where it can be important to not add too much stuff to your art journal page if you want to be able to close the book. I think I like that too. Kind of mix it up. Right. And the glue I'm using is this Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. It goes on white, but it does dry clear, which is nice. I like the finer tip on it, and it's got the bottle where you can stand it right side up is actually upside down on a regular bottle, so this way it keeps the glue ready to go anytime you need it. So I forget who is there's so many resources that you see online. I need to be better about remembering where I see something, but that's something I'll have to work on. I think I'll add that as part of my New Year's resolution as we get closer to 2026. And I think for some more sparkle, because who doesn't love sparkle? I have this glitter glue. It's the opalescent, um, can't speak, sorry, opalescent glitter in there. I'm trying to use it up before I get any more. So let me just do some little dabs. Hopefully, hopefully that's not too loud coming through the microphone. Okay, I think it's plugged. Where's a pin? Okay, I am almost done, I promise. We're for real for this little test run. I am almost done. Because I know there's still enough in there that's usable, so I don't want to throw it away until it's completely gone. Okay, let's see if that did it. Nope. I used it the other day. I don't think it got dried up on me. Let me see if I can get it open. I'm not going to do this if it's going to be too big of a fight. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to the backup method. This is not cooperating, and I'm not going to fight with it during the live stream. So we're going to do this. We're going to go back to Aleene's glue, and it won't be completely done here since, you know, I'm still live, but I'm going to just add some dabs and then I'll sprinkle some. I have kind of a similar glitter here off on the desk that I'm going to use to make my own little glittery dots. And 1, 2, 3. And again, not going for perfection. All right. Is that on? Oh. And where is it? Here we go. Okay. So just a little bit more and we'll call it good. So you can do a cheater method of glitter dots by putting down a dot of glue on your project and then sprinkling glitter over it. And then when it dries, you can just shake off the excess onto a piece of paper and dump the leftovers back into the container. So that way, you know, you're not wasting it. So I think I got them all. Pretty sure. Let me do a little bit more on there. So even though I'm dumping on more than I probably need for each dot, that's okay, because I can just, like I said, dump it off and get it back in the container. So this was my first little test run doing a dual live stream. If you popped in, hello. Hope you had some fun. Hopefully while I was at it, I was able to share a few extra tips, you know, working on the fly today. And that is it. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next